Chapter 14. Clear-off turns up at an awkward moment. Children stayed talking to Lily for a little while, and then, as it was getting near tea time, they had to go. The girl was relieved to have told somebody of her troubles, and she saw them off after they had once more promised to keep to themselves all that she had told them. They were all having tea at Pip's, which was nice because they could talk everything over. They were very excited indeed. "Things are moving," said Pip, rubbing his hands together. "They certainly are moving. I don't believe Horace Peaks had anything to do with it at all, not a thing. I think it was Mr. Smellie. Look how scared he was when you and Daisy spoke to him about his walk that evening. Why should he be scared if he hadn't done anything wrong? And we know his shoes are the right size, even if the rubber soles don't match the drawing," said Daisy. "Maybe he has got a pair that do match," said Fatty, "but he's hidden them somewhere in case he did leave footprints behind. He might have thought of that." "Yes, that's so," said Larry. "If only we could find someone with a torn grey flannel suit, that really would settle matters." "We really ought to search and see if we can find those shoes," said Daisy. "I should think they are in his study somewhere. You know he told us that Miss Miggle isn't allowed to tidy up in there. He could easily pop them into a cupboard there, or behind those rows of books or somewhere." "Daisy, that's a clever idea of yours," said Larry, pleased. "I believe you're right. Shall I creep in tonight and have a hunt?" "Are we allowed to get into people's houses and hunt for their shoes?" said Pip doubtfully. "Well, we can't ask anybody that," said Larry. "We'll just have to do it. We're not doing anything wrong. We're only trying to find out something." "I know, but grown-ups are funny," said Pip. "I'm sure most of them wouldn't like children creeping about their houses looking for clues." "Well, I don't see what else to do," said Larry. "I really don't. Anyway, silly, we've got to put back the shoe that Daisy took, haven't we?" "Yes," agreed Pip. "That certainly must be done. Don't get caught, that's all." "I shan't," said Larry. "Shh! Here comes your mother, Pip. Talk about something else." Pip's mother asked Fatty how he was after his fall. "Thank you, I'm all right," he said, "but I've still got some nasty bruises." Leaving Fatty talking eagerly to Pip's mother, the 4 children crept off. Buster stayed with Fatty, wagging his tail. "Let's go for a bike ride and leave old Fatty to himself," said Pip in disgust. "I don't want to hear about his fall all over again." So the 4 of them went for a bike ride, and Fatty was surprised and hurt to find out he was all alone in the garden when Pip's mother left him. He couldn't think why the others had gone, and he spent a miserable hour by himself, thinking how unkind they were. When they came back, he greeted them with a volley of complaints. "You are mean! Why did you go off like that? Is that the way to behave, Pip, when people come to tea with you? You're horrid!" "Well, we thought you'd probably be about an hour boasting to Pip's mother," said Larry. "Don't look so fierce, Fatty. You shouldn't be such an idiot." "Going off like that, finding clues and things without me," said Fatty angrily. "Aren't I a find-outer too? What have you been doing? Seeing Horace Peaks or Lily again? You are mean." "We didn't see anyone," said Bets, feeling sorry for Fatty. She had so often been left out of things because she was younger than the others, and she knew how horrid it was to feel left out. "We only went for a bike ride." But Fatty was really offended and hurt. "I don't think I want to belong to the find-outers any more," he said. "I'll take my drawing of the footprints and go. I can see you don't want me. Come on, Buster." Nobody wanted Buster to leave the find-outers, and they didn't really want Fatty to either. He wasn't so bad once you got used to him. Daisy went after him. "Come back, silly," she said. "We do want you. We want to discuss what to do tonight about Mr. Smellie's shoes. You come and say what we ought to do too. I want to go into Mr. Smellie's house and keep guard for Larry whilst he is hunting for the shoes we think Mr. Smellie has hidden, but he won't let me." Fatty went back to the others, still looking rather sulky. "Larry, I do wish you'd let me creep into Mr. Smellie's house with you," said Daisy. "Fatty, don't you think I really ought to keep guard for him?" "No, I don't," said Fatty. "I think I ought to go with Larry. You shall do the hunting, and I'll watch out that nobody discovers you." "No, I'll go," said Pip at once. You wouldn't be able to slip out without being seen, said Larry. Fatty could. His parents don't seem to bother about him much. All right, Fatty, you come and help me then. I thought I'd wait till about 9:30 and then scout about and see if old Smellie is still in his study. It's no use trying anything till he's gone to bed. He may be one of these people that stays up till about 3 o'clock in the morning, of course. We'll have to see. Well, I'll be along about 9:30, said Fatty. Where's the shoe? In the summer house? I'll bring it with me in case your mother wants to know where you got it from. It'll be dark then, and no one will see what I'm carrying. Fatty cheered up very much when he found out that there was something really exciting he could join in. He forgot his sulks and discussed where to meet Larry. I shall climb over the wall at the bottom of the garden, said Larry. But you, Fatty, had better go up the road in front of Mr. Smellie's house and go into the drive there and round to the back that way. Meet me somewhere at the back of the house, see? Right, said Fatty. I'll hoot like an owl to tell you when I'm there. Can you hoot? Said Betts in surprise. Yes, listen, said Fatty. He put his 2 thumbs side by side, frontways, and cupped his hands together. He blew carefully between his thumbs, and at once a mournful, quavering hoot, just like an owl's, came from his closed hands. It was marvellous. Oh, you are clever, Fatty, said Betts in great admiration. Fatty blew again, and an owl's hoot sounded over the garden. He really was very good at it. Simply wonderful, said Betts. Fatty opened his mouth to say that he could make much better bird and animal noises than that, but caught a look in Larry's eye that warned him in time to say nothing. He shut his mouth again hurriedly. Well, said Larry, that's settled then. You meet me at 9:30 behind Mr. Smellie's house and hoot like an owl to tell me you're there. I shall probably be hiding in the bushes somewhere, waiting for you. The children all felt excited as they went to bed that night. At least, Fatty didn't go to bed, though Larry did. But then Larry's mother usually came to tuck him up and say good night, and Fatty's didn't. So Fatty felt quite safe as he sat, fully dressed in his bedroom, reading a book to make the time pass. At 9:10, he switched off his light and put his nose outside his bedroom door. There was no one about. He slipped along the passage and down the stairs. Out of the garden door he went, and into the hotel garden. In half a minute he was in the lane, and running up it with the shoe tucked under his coat. At just before 9:30 he came to Mr. Smellie's house, and stopped outside the front gate. The house was quite dark. Fatty walked up and down outside for a moment or two to make quite certain that there was no one about. He didn't see someone standing quite still by one of the big trees that lined the road. He walked down in front of the house once more, making up his mind to go into the drive. And then quite suddenly he felt a strong hand on his shoulder. Poor Fatty almost jumped out of his skin. "Oh!" he said, frightened, and the shoe dropped from beneath his coat. "Oh!" said a voice that Fatty knew only too well. "Oh!" A torch was flashed into his face, and the voice said, "Ah!" again, this time more loudly. It was Clearoff's voice. He had been standing quietly beside the tree, and had been astonished to see Fatty come up the lane and walk softly up and down in front of the house. Now he was even more astonished to find that it was one of them children. He bent down and picked up the shoe. He stared at it in the greatest astonishment. "What's this?" he said. "It looks like a shoe," said Fatty. "Let me go. You've no right to clutch me like that." "What are you doing with this shoe?" asked Clearoff in an astonished voice. "Where's the other?" "I don't exactly know," said Fatty truthfully. "None of your cheek," he said. He turned the shoe upside down and saw the rubber sole. At once, the same thought flashed across his mind as had flashed across Daisy's when she had first seen it. The markings were like those on the footprint. Mr. Goon stared at the shoe in amazement. He flashed his torch at Fatty again. "Where did you get this?" he asked. "Whose is it?" Fatty looked obstinate. "Someone found it and gave it to me," he said at last. "I shall keep it for the time being," said Mr. Goon. "Now you just come along with me for a minute." But Fatty didn't mean to do that. With a sudden quick twist, he was out of Clearolf's grasp and tearing up the lane as fast as he could go. He went right to the top and then round and into the lane in which Larry's house stood. He slipped into Larry's drive when he came to it and made his way to the bottom of the garden, his heart beating loudly. He shinned up to the top of the wall and dropped down. He made his way cautiously to the back of the house. Then he hooted like an owl. "Woo-hoo! Woo-hoo!"